Namaste, everyone. Michele Granberg here. Welcome to another episode of Positive Energy, bringing enlightening television for your evolving soul. In shelters throughout New Jersey, homeless dogs and cats are in need of forever homes. For over 10 years, a local organization, Sammy's Hope, has been providing adoptable dogs and cats with socialization, enrichment, and medical care. Their mission is to bring hope through animal welfare and adoption services. Stay with us to meet the wonderful staff and sweet adoptable animals of Sammy's Hope. So Positive Energy is welcoming Joan and Cara from Sammy's Hope. Hi, you guys. Welcome to Positive Energy.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us.
Are you kidding? So who did you bring with you today, first of all?
We have espresso, cappuccino,
and we have latte.
And they look quite energized, as their names suggest.
Yes, and at 10 weeks old, they are ready to discover the world.
They're ready to be adopted. That's why they're here. So, Cara, let me start with you. What's your role at Sammy's Hope?
So I am the executive director of Sammy's Hope. I started out as a foster coordinator when I first started with Sammy's Hope, and then joined the board as board president and now executive director.
Nice. Joan, how about you? What's your role at Sammy's Hope?
I am director of operations, which I oversee the daily activities at the shelter. But both Cara and I are very involved with basically every aspect of the organization: fundraising, social media, promotions, and yes, our role on the ground at the shelter as well.
Very hands-on.
So we are very hands-on.
Hands-on, all behind the scenes.
Yes, all hands on deck.
Right now, yeah, hands-on. So, Cara, what's the backstory of Sammy's Hope? How did it get started?
So back in 2010, a group of friends got together and were volunteering at a municipal shelter in New Jersey, just going there once a week to start to socialize and walk the dogs that were there for adoption. It turns out we were there for several months, and we noticed that a lot of the bigger, larger breed dogs took longer to get adopted. The pit bull type dogs with the square block heads weren't getting adopted, so we decided we formed a 501c3 in September of 2010. So we are a nonprofit and created Sammy's Hope as a rescue group to help facilitate the volunteer groups at the municipal shelter, as well as the adoptions of the larger breed dogs. Sammy, we are named after Samson. He was the first dog that we got adopted from the shelter. Our logo, that's his head there, a drawing of his head. And from there, we stayed at that municipal shelter for about 4.5 years, almost 5 years. And in January of 2015, we opened up our own shelter in Sayreville, New Jersey. It's the Sammy's Hope Animal Welfare and Adoption Center in Sayreville. So
you have a brick and mortar location in Sayreville.
Sayreville.
Gotcha.
Yes. Main Street in Sayreville. We house about 12 dogs and up to about 15 cats. It's a small facility, and what we do today is we continue to help the municipal shelters throughout New Jersey, not only the one we started with, but several shelters. All of the animals that come in, including these guys and all of our dogs that come in, we pull them from municipal shelters throughout the state. So there is as everyone knows, an overcrowding situation with shelters, and there's an overcrowding of dogs and cats in those shelters. So we kind of help to alleviate that overcrowding from our municipal shelters in New Jersey. So when we go and visit these shelters. We have partner relationships with quite a few, and we'll go and pull some of their animals out of their shelter, bring them into our shelter, and socialize them, give them any medical attention they need, get them spayed, neutered, all their vaccines, and get them ready for adoption and finding their forever home.
Beautiful. I mean, it's just so wonderful to hear how it's a community effort.
Yes,
and it's so great
local,
when everybody works together.
Yes,
yeah.
And a lot of the municipal shelters don't have the resources and the funding to provide some of the dogs with what they need, especially if there's significant medical needs.
And to add to that, was speaking of the funding, Sammy's Hope till today, so this is our 11th year, we operate solely on donations from the public. We apply for grants if we could anywhere possible, but it's basically just we're all volunteer. We have one part-time paid shelter manager who's at the shelter 5 days a week. It's a part-time position. Other than that, we have over 100 volunteers that manage the operations of the shelter and handling the animals and socializing them at the shelter 7 days a week. So our animals are in our shelter 24 hours a day, and we have volunteers covering that, and it's all funded with donations. Fundraisers we hold throughout the year, multiple fundraisers.
And if we could plug, our golf outing is coming up at Ricebrook and Hillsborough.
Absolutely.
September 15th.
Absolutely. We want to definitely get people to reach out to you and get involved. And do you always need volunteers? Are you ever at a capacity with volunteers?
We usually never at a capacity. We always need them. We have many volunteers who've been with us since day one. And then several, throughout the time. And there are a few that move or, have life changes. They have changed a job, move out of state or something like that. So we always are looking for new volunteers, and we hold volunteer orientations. So anyone interested in volunteering can email us and go to our website. We have an application for volunteers, and we do an orientation for new volunteers about every other month right now.
So let's talk about kittens and how really adorable they are. Now, I assume that kittens get adopted obviously quicker than older cats or senior cats. Is that true? Is it true that there's a kitten season where you tend to get more kittens, I guess, off the streets? Do you get a lot of cats and kittens off the street? And how do you manage that?
Well, I'll start first. Yes, there is a kitten season, and we are in full swing of kitten season right now, so we do get most of the ones we get do come off the street. However, they're usually at a municipal shelter first, and then we pull them from there. Maybe you can go into more of they do get adopted quicker than adult cats, but we've had some good luck with even some senior cats, and we offer to help us with not only the cats and dogs that are seniors, we do a senior pet discount as well on an adoption fee.
Wonderful. Right. Joan, can you talk about TNR, or both of you talk a little bit about trap, neuter, release, which is how feral cats or outdoor cats are humanely managed?
Yes.
So tell me about that.
Yes.
What do you want people to know about that?
So I want people to know how important it is and to support local groups that focus on TNR, because it's really the only humane way to control the feral cat population. Prior to communities, and more communities are embracing TNR because they're realizing it's effective. Before TNR was adopted and embraced by communities, routinely animal control officers were responding to nuisance calls. They'd have to round up the feral cats, and their only option was to euthanize because they cannot really be socialized and placed in a home. So with TNR, the cats are trapped, they are neutered, they are vaccinated, and then they are returned to their environment to live out the rest of their natural lives where they are most comfortable. So it is the only really humane way, and it is effective in they don't spread disease and don't contribute to the overpopulation.
Yeah.
So a lot of the shelters have reported that they see a decrease in feral cat populations coming into the shelter. So that's a very good thing.
I would absolutely think so.
And I think to add to part of the TNR programming is when they do trap them humanely, and maybe there's kittens out there, then the kittens get trapped early enough, they could be socialized like this and get adopted, so they don't have to be placed out there. It's just the more feral ones that get spayed or neutered and vaccinated and returned out to the...
Yeah, it just breaks the cycle of constantly cats breeding more kittens and those kittens breeding more kittens over and over again, so... Yes. So anybody can do TNR, right? I mean, as long as you know what you're doing, you have a little bit of knowledge and training in that. It's really about the community getting involved with animal welfare.
Yes, and I think reaching out to your local rescue groups like us and many others out there to help you. The community can help by setting up the rescue groups will loan the traps. They're humane traps, so you're trapping these cats humanely, and the community can help by either helping to wait there for the traps or also with the feeding. So once they're returned out to the colony, there are feeders, people who go out consistently day in, day out, feeding those colonies of cats once they're spayed or neutered.
Yeah, so you can be a feeder or you can be a trapper, but you're not alone, I guess is the message, right?
Right.
There are
Correct.
people who know how to do this and are doing. I actually do TNR myself, and it's a great community actually of people who do that.
Absolutely.
Very kind.
And
committed.
everyone's
kind
committed
people.
and helping each other.
Yeah.
it's-
Very committed, yes.
So if someone wants to adopt espresso or cappuccino or latte, did I say that I get all the names right?
Yeah, you did.
What would be a little bit of the process of filling out an adoption form?
Yes, there is a questionnaire.
And reaching out to you online, yes?
Yes, yes. Through our website, sammyshope.org. There's a tab, Adoptables, which will bring you to either dogs or cats, and you click through. There is a questionnaire which just tells us a little bit about your lifestyle and your household, and then we invite you to come in and meet with your cat or cats of choice, or dogs. And yeah, then we go through the process, and if you wanted to move forward, we ask for a vet reference typically, and if all checks out well, then off you go.
Pretty easy process.
Yes, we try to not have obstacles. We want to place these animals in loving homes.
forever
and
homes.
Yes, absolutely.
We would say, though, when it comes to kittens, two are better than one, though.
I was just going to say.
What are the because they have each other to play with, to socialize with, to stimulate each other, and to bond with. Yes.
They do, yes. They do get a lot of enrichment and socialization with each other. But having said that, if a kitten is placed in a home with a young, playful cat, resident cat, that's great too. That's great too.
Thank you for that, because in case people wonder, and sometimes people hesitate, you're right, because I already have a cat that is used to being independent on his or her own, and a kitten is usually welcomed.
Yes,
Yes.
usually, yeah.
Usually, right? It
as with
brings
all
out their
introduction
instincts.
takes some time. Yeah, it takes some time if you take your time and do it properly.
Yes,
They
and we
definitely
provide
do.
guidance with people who are a little hesitant and say, well, I'm not
course.
sure how to introduce them properly, but we provide support for that.
And if there was a problem, can people return the animals? It just depends on the situation.
Yes.
Of course, you would want
actually,
them to.
we require that, yes.
Yes.
If something does not work out for a variety of reasons, if something doesn't work out with any animal adopted from Sammy's Hope, we always require that animal come back to us for rehoming.
In fact, after adoption, whether a cat, kitten, dog, we always do a follow-up, 3-week, 6-week follow-up with the
Correct.
adopters to see how everything's going, make sure it's going well, if they need any assistance from us as well.
Yes. And
Perfect.
sometimes people are a little hesitant to ask the questions, or, oh, I should know this, or I should do, and we always encourage people, please reach out to us before it becomes a bigger problem. Let's get ahead of this. Let's work through
Let's
it.
see if we can solve it.
Absolutely. And 99% of the time.
And you probably almost heard it all at this point. You know, like the situation is not the first time of that situation.
Very true.
Look how sweet right now, just so calm.
Yeah.
And I don't think I can hear the
You can
kitties.
hear it. They're like, why'd you put me back? They wanted me out too.
Yes, because you were getting a little rambunctious.
Who doesn't love and want someone so beautiful? And these are you said calico or torties?
They're technically calicos, but I think they're commonly known with their coloring as tortoise shell coloring. Whatever they
just
are,
so
they're
sweet.
just adorable.
Well, we really hope that you guys, I'm sure you will get a forever home really soon, really fast. Reach out if anybody's interested, if they're still available.
Thank you.
Yes, they go pretty quickly.
They do.
So
We do
we're
have
gonna-
many more kittens in foster.
Yes,
though,
there'll be
we do
more.
have-
If
we do
these are
have
not
more
available,
currently,
there'll be
yes,
more.
Absolutely.
And we are
And adult cats.
also, besides our website, if anyone's interested, the best place to follow us is on social media.
Yes.
On Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. A lot of our animals that come in, they get posted up there before they even make it up to our website.
Yeah, that's the place to go.
Yes.
So we're going to stop here with the kittens and bring on another adoptable friend that you brought with you today in the form of a canine. So thanks, you guys.
Thank you. Say thank you.
It was a pleasure.
Like I'm going to go and take a nap
Thank
now.
you. Okay, so now we're here with, introduce us to who you have with you now.
We have Bear. Bear is about
Hi, Bear.
Bear is approximately a year and a half. Bulldog mix. He's been with us for several weeks now. He came from a large municipal shelter. He's been settling in really well. He's a very happy-go-lucky guy, great personality, loves everybody that he meets, and he's just overall great temperament dog. Yeah.
Is Bear typical of the types of dogs that you get, or they're all different, Cara?
He is probably the majority of the dogs do look like Bear, little bigger, smaller in size, but we usually typically get the medium to large dogs, and they do typically look like him. He has the unique coloring of a brindle color, so there's not so many. A lot of them are the solid color dogs, but he's brindle, so he is typical. Again, we put him in municipal shelters. This is what you see a lot, and he's also typical of what people label as a pit bull type of breed. Which to us, we don't put those labels on. We don't really know what breed he is. He looks more like a bulldog, but any dog with a big square-looking head like that gets that pit bull.
People assume.
People assume.
You
Yes.
just don't know any better.
Right.
So you say that certainly you look at breed, but personality is equally, or do you say more important when getting to know a
It's
dog?
absolutely more important. In fact, through our adoption process, same as the cats, you would go online, fill out an application or questionnaire with us, and then we invite you in to meet the animals at the shelter. And many times, people may see a dog like Bear and fall in love online, but once they come into the shelter, and then we have other dogs in there as well, it's more once they interact with the dog and see the dog's personality, see how the dog interacts with them and their family. It's really that connection that makes the deciding factor, not really the looks or the breed or anything like that. It's which dog will be best fit for that family.
Yeah, that's what you're looking for, a fit. This is going to be a family member.
Right, and you want it
You
not based
want
on
a
looks.
fit.
Yes, you don't want it based on looks. You want a fit that's going to last forever and fit in just as part of the family.
So Joan, do you have anything else to add about some of the misconceptions you've come across in terms of different breeds of dogs or pit bulls, or how people can know when a dog is the right fit for their family?
Right.
High energy, low energy, I know that's a factor.
Yeah, and again, like Cara said, we really encourage people to come in and meet the dogs, and the message that we want to send to people is don't judge any dog or cat by the way they look.
Don't judge a book by its
people
cover.
jump to
I was just going to say that the old adage is true.
Yes.
So come meet. How much time would you say to spend with the dogs typically?
We give people as much time as they like, really. Our adoption hours are Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 7, and on the weekends, 11 to 4. And we don't want to rush anyone in and out. It's a big decision to make to add a family member, and an important one. And we want it to be a forever home. So everybody
you want
has
success
to be.
stories.
We do,
Yes, absolutely. So that
yes.
you can open up a spot for the next animal.
Correct,
Exactly.
correct.
Yep.
And we also encourage every family member, everyone who lives in the home, to come and meet the dog.
That
as
makes
well.
total sense. So how about training? Do you offer training through your services, or is that something outside of your services? A little bit like this.
So while they're with us for their
I'll do anything
short
too.
stay, while they're with us, our volunteers offer some training. Some are
Basic commands?
basic commands, walking
Sit,
well on
stay.
a leash, right? Down, paw, a couple things like that. But we do offer support to adopters after adoption if they need it. We do follow up with adopting families and make sure that everything's going well. If they do need some service, if it's something that we can do ourselves, one of us will help assist the family go out to their home even, or we provide professional trainers as a resource as well.
Oh, excellent.
We have a few we work with.
Yes.
So you are a resource, and you have resources
Yes.
for
Right.
whatever a potential family would need. So let me ask you, if you don't mind, both of you, what you think of breeders. What is a breeder, and what do you think it's ethical to breed, not ethical, or does it depend? We want to encourage people to adopt instead of shop.
Yes.
Although we know that happens, and but what do you think, Joan, and then Cara?
There are a lot of responsible breeders, and when I say responsible,
Yeah, we don't want to lump them all into one category.
Right, exactly. That want to maintain the integrity of a certain breed of dog, and totally fine with that. And I think that I would discourage buying dogs from a pet store, because no responsible breeder sells their puppies to a pet store.
Yeah.
They're typically like large puppy mill types of, they call themselves breeders, but those are the types of businesses that sell to pet stores. So I would encourage people, if they want a specific full bred dog to do your homework.
How would they do the homework? How is that usually? Just like online sort of research?
You interview, yes.
Interview them.
breeders.
Oh, get
and you want
recommendation.
to go to their facility. You want to meet the mom dog. You want to see their entire facility. And if that's denied to you, that's a big red flag.
Yeah. So what? Because it can lead to euthanizing. I mean, if people are not taking from shelters. So you're a no-kill facility.
Right. So
what does that mean for people who don't really know? And
so no kill. Really, what it means is that you are. I think the proper term is 85% of the animals that come into your facility you're saving and finding a home for or placing them somewhere and not getting euthanized. So Sammy's Hope is a no-kill facility. There are times where humane euthanasia is the right thing to do, whether an animal is sick, medically, and also mental. So it could be physical and mental stress that they're under, something like that. It's something where the animal, it's not a good quality of life for the animal any longer. That is the determining factor, really, is the quality of life of the animal.
Do you find that to be the exception?
Very
More
rare.
so?
Yes,
It's
very
rare.
Yes.
Yes.
And then what Sammy's Hope does by pulling from those municipal shelters, we help them try to minimize their euthanasia rate, because in a municipal shelter, they sometimes have no choice. It's not something they want to do. Nobody wants to do it, but they run out of space, and there's just no more space to put on the other new animal that comes in. So Sammy's Hope helps to alleviate that a little bit. I mean, we're a small facility, so we do what we can. But like you said earlier, the faster they get adopted, the faster we could bring in a new one and save another life.
Absolutely. So, Joan, what do you think is sort of the main reasons why so many dogs and cats do need forever homes?
Well, there's an overpopulation in the municipal shelters for a number of reasons. People lose their homes, they lose their jobs, they get ill, pass away, no family member can take those animals. That's commonly how animals end up in the shelters. Yeah. And then some people are just irresponsible, and they take on a puppy, and then the puppy gets big, and we didn't realize it was going to be this big.
And I think it also ties back to the breeders, irresponsible breeders who breed from home and just breed and overbreed their animals. And then when the parent dogs, the mother or father dog, is no longer useful to them for breeding, sometimes those dogs get dumped at a shelter or even in the streets and end up at the shelter.
I don't know if you can answer this, but in New Jersey, I've heard that we're, as a state, more organized, more well established as a shelter system throughout New Jersey than other states. Do you know that to be true, or just curious?
I think up here in the Northeast, it's a general statement.
Northeast
it is better,
in general?
yes, compared to the southern states. And then if you look at it's public information. You can look it up on the state websites.
Okay.
The euthanasia rate for dogs and cats in New Jersey shelters has been decreasing year over year for the past probably 15 years. In fact, I think, back in 2016, the euthanasia rate was over 15,000 cats and dogs got euthanized a year in New Jersey alone. And as of 2019, the 2020 data has not been out yet. It's a little under 9,000. So that's a significant decrease.
So
yes.
something's working.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yes. And, Sammy's Hope, as well as the many other rescue groups that are out there, whether they're foster-based or have their own shelter like us, are helping that situation if you're pulling from those New Jersey municipal shelters.
So, Joan, what can the average person do to help animals like this in general?
In general,
if someone's out there going, what can I do?
Number
adopt,
one,
adopt. You heard that, adopt, don't shop, she said.
And
That
if
was
you
the
can't
obvious
adopt,
answer. It was a good
come
answer.
volunteer. Come
And volunteer
with us.
for
Absolutely.
organizations that...
Yes.
So there's many ways.
There's so many ways, and
Foster.
donate, foster.
Do you need more fosters, or is it hard to get fosters, or do a lot of people offer to foster?
We actually don't have a foster program for the general public. We are volunteers who have gone through our orientation and are trained and are with us for a while. Very often will foster a dog and or a cat. And sometimes end up failing the foster and the
Foster fail. That's a good kind of fail. You don't want to ask how many you have.
I do just have one.
But something very simple to support us. We get a lot of adopters and new volunteers through social media. So something you could do right from home in front of your computer is follow us on Facebook,
and share.
Instagram,
Share,
comment, like.
Yeah.
And if you're really happy with us, go on Google and give us a good review. And
everybody
there's so
can
many
do
ways
that
to help. Absolutely.
at the very least right now.
Yes, they
Yep.
can.
And then also
They
there's
can.
many other ways also to volunteer. If you want to volunteer but you can't handle large dogs or you're allergic to cats, we could put you in a different area. Or you could also volunteer at our events that we have throughout the year for fundraising, or hold your own fundraiser. We have a lot of younger population who, because our volunteers need to be, we mentioned this, 18 years and older, but a lot of the younger volunteers, younger folks want to volunteer, so they'll do some fundraisers, or for their birthday maybe they'll ask for gifts for the shelter rather than gifts for themselves, and we get that a lot as well.
Yeah, very sweet. We can,
I love to hear that. The generations that are coming up are more thoughtful, more compassionate.
Yes.
So we're going to start to wrap up, but any final words sort of about Sammy's Hope, the organization, or any final message from either of you? Karen, then Joan?
Just that, again, the cliche, adopt, don't shop, and like Joan said, follow us on our social media. I think you'll see all the things we're doing, all the events we're having, and we are having a golf outing, which is one of our biggest fundraisers
What's
of the
the
year.
dates on that?
That is September 15th, 2021 at Royce Brook Golf Club in Hillsborough, New Jersey.
Okay.
And you can find that information on our website or also on our social media pages as well. And there's a link to register online. We have a first responder discount and an early bird registration discount. So if you register before August 1st, there's a discount on the registration fee as well. And also for first responders, that goes past August 1st.
Beautiful way of giving back to them as well. It's a big circle. Joan, any other for you?
Well, Kara's covered just about everything. But
She stole your thunder about the golf outing, but that's okay.
But
any final message?
the message has come out.
Yeah.
Come see us. Come visit the animals. Consider adopting. Consider volunteering. And I know there's so many people that are so busy and they say, I just can't do another thing. But simply sharing a post of ours and liking us and just being part of our community of supporters is awesome. So everybody can just do one thing.
Everybody can just do
one
little bit of their part,
because
the animals really need us. They
so
are innocent. They can often be the victims of things, and they can't speak.
They don't.
We want to be their voice. They do speak, obviously, but not our language. So Bear now is very relaxed.
He's made
very
himself
calm. You guys have done an amazing job. Bear, thank you for being here today on Positive Energy, and thank you, Joan, and thank you, Kara, for the work that you're doing for these animals.
And thank you very much for having us on today.
Yes. Thank you for the invite.
Thank you. Another enlightening show. Millions of shelter animals are euthanized each year as they await adoption. Please give them a second chance at life. Adopt, don't shop. Thank you, Monday Morning Flowers, for the beautiful floral arrangement. Visit MicheleGranberg.com, go vegan, and join me next time on Positive Energy.